Are you looking to buy designer replicas on DHgate, but you're too scared that you're going to get scammed? Well, then this video is for you. I'm going to be sharing with you my top tips on how to successfully navigate, order, and receive good designer dupes from DHgate. If that is something you want to find out about, then stay tuned. Before we get into that, though, I want to say a huge shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much. Wow, I'm blown away. I appreciate you all so much. I'm so grateful for every single one of you that has reached out to me on Instagram for a link to an item that I shared with you in my previous video. While we're on the subject of links, right now I believe that the Chanel double flap classic bag link is not available. The item is not there. That can happen for many reasons, but I will be looking into other options for you and will only recommend something that I believe is definitely worth your time and your money. But aside from that, guys, I just appreciate you so much, and I'm so grateful for all of you. If you are not subscribed and you want to follow along on this DHgate journey with me, then please subscribe and like this video. Alrighty, let's get into my top tips for navigating and having success on DHgate. Number one, you have to spend time on the site. If you're not prepared to do the time, guys, you're not going to get what you want. You really have to go in there with time to spare. And my first tip is go in there with a specific item in mind. And when I say an item, let's take, for example, a handbag. You want to go in there and not type in the designer brand. You want to type the name of the bag. So like using an example, the model of the car, not the brand of the car. And, I will use Gucci Marmont as my example. You will type it in, then you will scroll down and look at all the options in that category. And if it's a bag, you want to obviously pick Marmont luxury bag or Marmont bag. And then you will get to look through and you will have an option to select multiple items. I suggest you look at as many as you can and read the reviews. Look at all the pictures. Do all of the work. Okay, that brings me to my number 2 point. You need to spend even more time on the reviews of the item. If you're not prepared to do that, guys, that is the bottom line, number one thing you have to do on the site. That is, if nothing else, that's what you need to do. Looking at those reviews, you want pictures of the items that are sent in the reviews. You want multiple sources of reviews, multiple countries, ideally, but you want different reviews. You don't want to have reviews that look like it's the same review over and over. You have to, understand what is a fake review and what is a genuine review. And if you read through the stuff, you're going to figure it out pretty quickly, okay? Genuine reviews, photos in the item. That is the number one thing to not getting scammed on this site. You don't have to do this, but it is a recommendation for me. Let's say you find something that you really like that doesn't have a lot of reviews, or it doesn't have any photo reviews, but seems to have good reviews. Message the seller. If the seller gets back to you with photos, and I mean genuine photos, not stock photos from advertisements or any kind of campaigns, but real genuine photos. And again, you should be able to tell, this should be not so professional, I guess. And you want to be able to have this dialogue of conversation with the supplier. If you can do that, then maybe it's less risky to go ahead and purchase that. But personally, I try and stick to products that have photos in the reviews and have multiple reviews. Okay, let me say, I do have some notes. That's why I'm bouncing back and forth. My next point is to buy from established sellers. Now, this is a little bit tricky because I've been a business owner before. I know what it's like to be new, and you have to start somewhere, right? But it's a little risky. We're talking about suppliers in a whole nother country, and there's a chance that you might buy something and never get your money back. So I'm not ever going to recommend that you buy something from a non-established seller. And for me, that means 1 year as a minimum on the site. 2 or more is perfect. Established sellers, that's kind of a big one too. And my last tip is to maybe try and find suppliers that have been recommended from multiple sources. So maybe there are multiple YouTube videos talking about a certain supplier or a certain item. that is more helpful. There's a lot more credibility in that as well. So multiple recommendations for suppliers and products is another really helpful tool. I'm going to give you a bonus in this, and my suggestion is to use a credit card when you purchase, because if there are any issues, you've got a lot higher chance of getting your money back from a credit card transaction than any other way. But that also makes me think about something else that just happened recently. I put in an order for a friend of mine, and her credit card was charged a transaction fee, which can happen to some cards when they're used out of country. So bear in mind, each bank is different. You'll have to check that out with your own card facilitator. But for me, I never really cared about that because I pay such little shipping, if any, that I just considered that, like maybe a shipping fee. Even though it wasn't, I just viewed it like that. So just something to keep in mind, guys. I hope that this video has been helpful. I have some new items that should be arriving in a week at best, truly. And I just put in a new order today. There's a new Chanel purse coming. I'm very excited. I love my Chanel. I know you guys love your Chanel, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate you. If you have questions, you can put them in the description note. I put stuff in the description, not you. You can put them in the comments, or you can hit me up on Instagram at Joey's Review. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Bye.